remember on this day was first a beloved son or daughter, a brother, sister, or spouse, friend, or a neighbor. These made the ultimate sacrifice while defending our country for our freedoms. We gather here today to pay our respects for their sacrifice. From the Revolutionary War, we have 11. Abraham Damon, Squire Davenport, Private John Elliott, Nathaniel Hickok, Ebenezer Kenfield, Deacon Benjamin King, Daniel Morgan, Ichabod Pomeroy, Peter Quiggle, Samuel Starr, Reuben Stocking. In the War of 1812, we have 18. John A. Bartholomew, John Fox, Joseph Griffin, Jesse Hale, John R. Hall, John Kelly, Hosea King, George King II, Nathaniel King, Samuel McBride, Daniel McCoy, Isaac Pease, Joseph Pease, Philip Quiggle, Joseph Russell, George King Truman, John Michael Quiggle, Hezekiah Woodruff. In the Civil War, we have E.R. Aylworth, Benjamin Babcock, W.A. Bagg, W. Bigelow, Charles S. Bradley, Jerome Brady, Isaac C. Brewer, Henry T. Brown, Hester A. Brown, M.K. alias Robert M. Brown, Joseph Carney, Orlando R. Chamberlain, Alonzo Colby, Austin D. Cook, Roswell Cornish, Charles E. Crow, Fayette Dickens, Sherman Dickens, Martin V. B. Eggleston, Captain Lewis Elliott, William Hale, George H. Hubbard, Henry Huntoon, William Kennedy, Clifton E. King, Eliezer A. King, Philo Lewis, Napoleon B. Manny, Albert W. Murray, Truman Piney, John Quiggle, Charles Radcliffe, John Loren Richards, Lyman S. Ryder, Reverend Absalom Mosher, Dwayne Searle, Eugene Searle, Martin Searle, Philo Searle, Otis A. Shattuck, Charles Sheldon, Philetus Sisson, Zelates Converse Sisson, Frank St. John, Flavel W. Stebbins, Addison Stockman, Captain John E. Treat, J. H. Valentine, William Walters, M. F. Watts, Orrin Henry Whitney, D. H. Worthington, Charles Young, and William Young. From the Spanish-American War, we have Edward L. Jordan. In World War I, we have James Adam Akins, Edward Betovic, Jerry Betovic, James Lewis Bissell, James C. Brown, Frank W. Dreyer, Alexander Fry, Malcolm Reed, George Stephenson. In World War II, Wesley G. Anderson, Jack Arnold, Albert Ash, Michael O. Borglin, Elmer A. Balnow, George M. Bradley Sr., James C. Brown, Alan R. Burnett, Jerome Cervenka, Robert Collier, Francis Collins, Frank A. Collins, Charles A. Cooper, Bruno Zazarazek, Joseph Zazareski, James Davis, Frank DeMio, George E. Dolak, Pasquale Durant, Clarence Earls, Frank Edlinski, George Edlinski, Joseph Edlinski, Paul A. Ernier, Carl Frank Gale, William Gertz, Jack A. Gill, Vincent Gigliotti, Charles A. Gizza, John A. Graham Jr., John E. Grant, Benjamin J. Grigas, Clyde W. Groves Sr., Donald R. Hockenberry, Carl Hofflacker, Michael Hollowati, Warren J. Holt Sr., Arlie Eggleston Jackson, Edward G. Kempf, Leonard Knight, Charles Kortansky, Emil J. Kortansky, Robert J. Kortansky, Raymond Largent, Hal C. Labar, Mylan B. Lett, Edward O. Lendell, John Leidy, John S. Liplin, William David Losh, Arnold C. Mackey, Frank Majewski, Paul Michael Majewski, Harold Marcy, Roland James Matthews, Coleman McCombs, William A. McCoy, Charles W. McVeigh, Edward J. Miserak, Robert Molson, Donald Lee Morris Sr., Doyle Nixon, Ethel Lawson Orient, Richard Orient, Charles Woodruff Owens, Richard D. Page, Walter Peterson, Andrew Picorni, Joseph Picorni, William C. Randalls, Malcolm Reed, Edwin H. Ristamaki, Frank O. Woodluff, Joe Sangrick, John Sangrick, Paul Schneider, Ross J. Shaw, William Chenault, Robert L. Smith, Mark Sperry, Edward A. Taylor, T.J. Thayer, Martin R. Thomason Jr., Buddy Herbert Trask, Dana L. Trask, Virgil Morris Trask, Earl Troutman, Ralph F. Valentine, Earl L. Vassant, Ruth Eleanor Battles Wheeler, Arthur Whelan, Roy H. Wisniewski, Frederick Ziggerish. From the Korean War, Michael J. Amatia, Dennis W. Bertliff, Betty Jo Bukolik, Floyd A. Bowditch, Eugene Breedlove, Gilbert F. Bryant, John Robert Carver, Roy C. Cooper, Herbert E. Crawford, George N. DeVault, Donald Farinacci Jr., John Adam Farkas, Edward Roland Gertz, Buddy Gene Helmendaler, Robert E. Kidder Sr., Dury B. Kosis, Nicholas Kucha, John McCreary, Donald E. Novatzik, Peter G. Newman, James Joseph Neas, Edward Prosser, William T. Ross, Charles Sufried, Frank M. Strock, Blake N. Troutman, Philip Rainey Vaughn, David E. Wells, Earl Everett White, Robert E. Williams, Arthur Lee Wilson, William H. Wolcott. From the Vietnam War, we have John M. Akins, Kenneth Lee Anderson, Louis Jack Barna, Richard A. Blossom, Alan J. Fernandez, John E. Grant Jr., George Kortonsky, Donald A. Mack, John Jack W. McMeechan, Ernest A. Molson, Wayne Stofan, John Suzinski, David E. Wisniewski. From Operation Enduring Freedom, we have Anthony G. Shaw and Alan James Knopp. Peacetime, we have Herbert L. Adams, James Robert Akins, Kenneth Murray Bailey, William L. Chapman, Donald H. Friedel, Donald A. Hurd, John Kraka, Dennis Molson, Harold Raymond Molson, Mary K. Newman, George Pavlik, Fred E. Turner, Robert M. Wooden, Norman C. Zigma. In the Unknown Soldiers Monument, we have E. R. Aylworth, W. A. Bagg, M. K. Brown, R. Cornish, S. Dickens, E. A. King, J. L. Richards, D. Searle, P. Searle, Charles Sheldon, M. F. Watts, and D. H. Worthington. And that concludes the reading of the names for the Memorial Day service.